That's what I think they handed us when they call these programs helping us. They still beat us up, us do what they want, and they give a few of us some nuggets and says, why y'all complaining? We offered you help.
Trump did away with DEI. So we need to ask you this question. Has it benefited or hindered Black progress?
You know, again, man, I think it's a mindset, guys. I've said for years. Let's go before DEI. And I've been in that space because I served on the Corporate Diversity Council back in 2003, 2004. I got deep into that space before it was called DEI. But when you talk about affirmative action, I've asked questions for years to Black people. Tell me how you've benefited from affirmative action. I don't know if I've ever met maybe one person that gave me a direct answer and says, oh, this helped me. I don't know those people. I don't know nowhere where affirmative action ever helped change my life. I ain't got in no school, no job. I ain't got nothing I know of came from an affirmative action program that I can specifically name. And I don't know the people who have. I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure it has some implication somewhere, but I haven't seen it. When you talk about DEI, I think it's a joke. And I just had a DEI conversation on Friday also. And I'm in conversation with the head of the DEI with the corporation that I'm involved with. I think it's smoke and mirrors and it's a joke. And if you want to ask my opinion, I think DEI has helped white women and some of the LGBT community. Because as far as I'm going, I don't see the benefits beyond that.
I want to briefly touch on that because there's a gentleman,
it's like a
client of mine, and I work with a lot of very wealthy and affluent people in my line of work, and this white gentleman, he's about in your same age bracket. He says, Charles, I've come across a lot of very accomplished, very successful Black men, and he says the one thing that I've noticed in common about them is the ones who've really reached the highest of heights. Most of them, all that they want you to do is get out of their way and not serve as an impediment to them realizing their goal. And he said most of them do not believe in all of this DEI stuff. They do not advocate for it. They do not support it. And most of them, they will also tell you exactly what you just offered, that they don't see in their lives and in the people that they know and have access to, people that have really benefited from affirmative action, DEI, so on and so forth. So he literally co-signed on what you said.
But let me see if I can bring some clarity for the audience, because I think sometimes these words can be misconstrued and we'll get thrown into this conservative mindset camp. And I'm not in that camp. I'm not in none of those camps, by the way. However, even though I think DEI as a program is smoke and mirrors, even though I think affirmative action has not served Black people much at all, I am pro change, reallocation, redistribution, reparations. I'm pro all of that for Black people. I am 100% in favor of it. I'm 100% in favor we need to make some adjustments because I know the system has been against us in many ways. And I'm not going to just blame the victims. So though I am not pro that these programs, I think the people who put the programs in place, whatever, haven't had the best intentions. If I can give you a scripture on this, my wife and I go to this one all the time. The tender mercies of the wicked is cruel. That's out of Proverbs. The tender let me paint that for you at minutes. Charles, I want your daughter. I'm going to her every night. I'm just going to give her a scholarship to any school she want to go to. Will you take that deal?
No.
That's what I think they handed us when they call these programs helping us. They still beat us up, us do what they want, and they give a few of us some nuggets and says, why y'all complaining? We offered you help. Yeah, but you've been in me. You got your knee on my neck. So you're going to promote one Black and show all Black people that if you just be a good house Negro, it can be good for you. But the rest of us still out in the field getting whipped. You see the narrative? To me, it's the same narrative that's been going on for the 150, 200 years. And we accept a few of those crumbs and parade it off as good. Let me throw you another one out. When we were talking about education, I went to a public high school, predominantly, mostly white, maybe 60-40, right? I got no guidance counseling to go to college. None, zero. In my high school, they handpicked each year a few black students and put them on the college track. Here's what blew my mind. Far as I know, in my community, the black people accepted that. We would go to our churches and community and we would parade little Johnny. Johnny's been selected to go to LSU. There's 10 of us over here. We ain't going nowhere. We all at the same school. This is real. I'm not making this up. This is what happened. This is my life. I was one of the 10 over here who were not selected to go to college. I had no idea how to fill out. I didn't even know what an ACT test was. I'm talking about when I graduated high school, guys. I never even took an SAT test. Never heard of it. Because my community selected the black students who would get that opportunity, and I wasn't one of them. And the black people and the black school teachers, they thought that was a good thing. I assume they figured they're never going to let us all in, so let's pick out the good ones and they'll get to go. And every year you knew who those students were. I can give you names. For the sake of people's innocence, I won't give you names, but that's the system I grew up in, and I don't think it's changed much. In its purpose and in its intention, it hasn't changed much. The face of it has changed, the methods are a little different, but at the end of the day, that's what this system does.